What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Jobber Radio. We're going to be talking about the Jobber Radio Prediction League, and we just wrapped up 3 shows in a single weekend. First time we've ever done it. We had the Ring of Honor Super Card of Honor show. We had the NXT New Orleans, and we had, of course, Wrestlemania. So we had 3 big shows, obviously the biggest show of the year, and I mean, we crowned a very first ever Road Warrior champion at Super Card of Honor. So I say we go over a couple of the highlights on the 2 shows leading up to WrestleMania, and then we're going to go over WrestleMania. This is nothing but a recap and kind of summing up. We don't really go by seasons here, but it's WrestleMania. It's kind of like the WWE, where a lot of the storylines come to a head, and we will develop new storylines going forward, and so on and so forth. So we'll have a new preview card coming up later on, but this is just a recap of what happened over the weekend. So first thing first, we had the Ring of Honor show, Super Card of Honor 12. This was the first ever Jobber Radio Prediction League Super Card of Honor. Now, we had the first ever champion. JD defeated myself, Bomber, and Captain Charisma via points in a ladder match because there was, what, 10 matches on this? You know what? I may be wrong here. This may have been a capture, and it may have came near the end, but either way, the guy won. JD became the first ever Road Warrior champion, and that title, if you haven't seen yet, is defended on every single show, including house shows. This is the only title that is defended on house shows, which is a pretty big deal. And he won by a pretty good margin there, 46, 39, 34. Got the big win, and if you read the storyline, basically, now the write-up is all down here below. Go check it out if you haven't already. But a little recap real quick. JD is part of Team Hell No, or Team, God, I always say that, Team No Chance faction. And basically, they're aligned with the UVC, and Bomber took it upon himself to say, you know what, I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you this championship just to show I'm not joking. I am loyal to you guys for being loyal to me. Kind of like, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of deal. So that's kind of what went down in the main event, and Captain Charisma, unfortunately, was the odd man out, and he took all the punishment in the match. So moving on, we had... It was a 4-way trio tag team match. It was originally going to be a 5-way, but unfortunately, Cammy Cat no-showed. And since it was a house show, no big deal, no penalties, nothing like that. It happens. It's a house show, so that no penalties towards any kind of push or anything like that for Cammy. But it would have been Cammy and Japanese included in this match as well. And I didn't. Let's go down real quick. Let's see. Bonaknee got 45, and Hito got 27, so they wouldn't have done too good in this match here, probably, even with Cammy Cat. The awesome hooded motherfuckers, AHMF, picked up the win over the Solution, which is huge. Blissful Enigmas have been doing great, and the new team on the block, Team No Chance, which this is the other 3 to JD's team there. And look how close this was, a single point margin of victory there for the awesome hooded motherfuckers. But congrats. Not many people can say they get a win over multiple faction members of the Solution, if not just a Solution member in general. So big, giant win there, even though it was on a house show. A lot of pride went into that win, I'm sure, for the awesome hooded motherfuckers. Then going on down, we had Baron Ash versus Ash. You know, just a regular singles match. These two have kind of been intertwined in a story with Broken Nerd, who was doing the mystery attacks. Baron Ash has basically been his ally as of recent months, maybe. And it was just a straight-up match. Baron Ash got the win by only 3 points there. Look at Bastion. My boy Bastion here picked up a big win over Super Hippo, who hasn't got a win up until this point in 2018. He was a superstar of the year and took another loss here, still struggling mightily. And then Tino, former world champion, taking on the Royal Rumble winner, who could be the possible new champion. We'll get to that in a little bit at WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble winner, 1-point victory for Tino. And unfortunately, Tino, I mean, either way, he did win, but he did have complications with his confidence points. He did have duplicating numbers, and I guess it did hurt his score, so he would have had even a bigger night. but he still got the win, so I guess in the end it doesn't really matter too much. He just didn't get as many points as he could have got. And then you had the Outsiders. They lost the titles in the tournament. They lost the number 1 contender match to the Solution. Now they got a big win over Woodus here. Look at this, 81-75, pretty decisive win there over Woodus. Let's see if that's going to help the Outsiders build momentum back towards those possible tag team titles. They are already a one-time tag team reign for those two. Hardcore match. What a squash match here. The Ultra-Violent champion, Accelerator 27, took a giant loss to Tagaby in a hardcore match. And then a couple more highlights. Shocking defeat here. John took a loss by 4 points to Jay Scott. Pretty big surprise there. Tom and TB666, two pretty well-known veterans, I guess you can say, in JRPL, took a loss to the new guy, Cade Galley, whatever, however we say it. But I think this had to be the shock of the entire show. Fart Bucket versus Crimson Cyborg. Both guys put up really good numbers, and you don't ever hear anybody say that about Fart Bucket. But he put up a massive score of 40, and he couldn't even get the win. But he did tie. Crimson Cyborg was not the first ever person to lose the Fart Bucket, which is a good thing, I guess. He did not lose. He did end up tying. So Fart Bucket ended up with Match of the Night honors. Believe it or not. I have 2 myself. Fart Bucket has 1. Fart Bucket has half the Match of the Night honors as I do, and that is not a good feeling. But Blissful Enigmas member Adam X got the victory over Hiroshin Moses. And then closing out the show, we had, I guess this is technically opening the show, but closing out the results, Bionic Knee, big, giant win over Shockmaster there, who is continuing to struggle. So the biggest takeaway from the house show, which it is a house show, not too much goes on, but the big first ever champion, JD, won in a ladder match, and then we had that big 4-way trios tag team match where the awesome hooded motherfuckers got the win there. So a couple other big matches on the card, but it was a house show. I hope everybody enjoyed. I ended up watching a decent amount of the Supercard of Honor. It was a really good show. You guys can't be sleeping on Ring of Honor. If you keep passing it up like, nah, I'm not going to do Ring of Honor. I'm not going to do Ring of Honor. Guys, what are you doing? You guys are slipping. There's a lot of good stuff that goes on in those Ring of Honor shows, and you're missing out. So that was the house show. The very same night, let's go over JRPL TakeOver New Orleans 2018. So right away, the main event, a monster main event, the first ever War Games match. We had The Solution defeat UVC, the Ultraviolet Connection, and Tino. There was a little bit of controversy while we were watching the show in the Discord chat, which if you haven't got on Discord and you're watching these videos and you're part of the JRPL, join the Discord, please. There's a lot of fun stuff going on. I think we broke records this weekend for like 15 people, 14 people in the voice chat during the shows. It's a lot of fun. You're missing out again if you're not taking part in that. So anyway, The Solution got the big win, 102-95. Like I said, there's a little bit of controversy. Bastion was mad at Tino because we were trying to get in communication with him. Jut contacted him like a week or two ahead of time and said, hey, let's get together and talk about the picks. Unfortunately, we never heard back from him. I mean, it happens. I'm not too mad about it. It happens. But he ended up having a lot different picks than us, and he scored a pretty low number on the show. And, I believe he scored the lowest number. Him and John did. And to be fair, I guess I heard John was not in Communicators, his team, but I heard that's nothing new for The Solution. But Bastion did get the most points out of everyone in that entire match, and it just wasn't enough. Me, myself, Jut, Bastion, and Tino took a big L there to The Solution. All 4 members of The Solution in the first ever War Games match. Congrats to them and the achievement for unlocking that. Singles match. Legit Boss, leader of Imperium, got a win by 1 point over Banksy, who's going to be facing John at Wrestlemania. So back-to-back shows, Banksy lost by 1 point. That is bad luck. That is bad luck. He's been having a fantastic year, and he just comes 1 point short on each show. That is just bad luck on his part. I'm sure it's a fluke. He's going to keep things going and turn things back around and in the shows to come. And then, like I said, the Road Warrior Championship is defended on every show, and this show was no different. Even though it was the same night, JD defended his title against Spring Tigress, and he won by another single point here. Look at that. Back-to-back matches there. 1 point. JD successfully defended his title. He got the achievement for, I think it's called Not Today, Buddy, for successfully defending any championship. And then we had Tagaby. He just got a big win over Accelerator, 27, and then gets a win over Super Hippo, who continues to lose matches in the JRPL after being Superstar of the Year in 2017. He's got to do something to turn things around. CM Carlito, what a big win for him over Victory Green, who is a current, who will be currently getting a shot at that #1 contender match at WrestleMania. So big statement there for CM Carlito. And then Jonathan C.T. Martin, big win. Look at this win, 22-9. Cammy Cat did not have a good performance at NXT. But yeah, Jonathan got the big win over there. They will face each other at WrestleMania the very next night. And then again, another match that will happen the next night. It's in a six-man tag match. Redhead got the win over Bionic Knee. Couple points there. Really close match. Redhead gets the win. Hardcore match. A rematch from the match that happened at the Ring of Honor show. Ash picked up the win this time, so if you're keeping track, that's one apiece. And this was a hardcore match, so these guys did a pretty good score for a hardcore match. And then a non-title match, Accelerator 27, the Ultraviolet champion, takes another loss, another big loss here. It wasn't a squash match, but Rab picked up the win over Accelerator there. And then the Green Machine, the man who joins Awesome Hooded Motherfuckers, and now he can't get a win or he can't get a loss. He seems to just walk away with no contests. He goes to a no contest with Adonex, who is a very strong competitor right now in the JRPL. One of the top guys to beat. He is a newcomer as well. Both these guys put up really good scores, 24 apiece, tied it up. Nobody got the win there, but nobody got the loss. Tom continuing a good streak here on the main shows, 20 points to 18. Tough loss from Scott, who just beat John on that house show. But again, house shows are house shows. They're not part of the main show. So either way, moving on here. Scott got a big win over TB666, and then his partner Lee got a win over XIVILI, one half of the Emporium. I just said it again, Imperium tag team, with his partner Nate Myers, who we'll get to in a little bit. So both outsiders, they won a tag team match at the house show, and then they won singles matches here on the NXT show. GMSG gets the win over Jobber Radio host and the Reckless Eater himself, Matt Zion. Big win, 15 points there. Matt Zion does not have a good NXT record. I don't know if he's even won a match. He usually ties. And speaking of ties, these guys, well, you got the King of Ties, the Lord of Ties, whatever he calls himself now, GMSG and Matt Zion. This is a rematch from the very first show at the JRPL NXT TakeOver Chicago. Yeah, Chicago, back in 2017 in May, which if you think about it, guys, we are 1 month away from a year, a full solid year in the JRPL. So that is a lot of fun there. But this was a rematch where they did tie, but GMSG picked up the victory here over Matt Zion, getting some good momentum going into WrestleMania. And then the other guy in that six-man tag match that I mentioned earlier with Jonathan C.T. Martin and Redhead, Junction, the man who has been struggling mightily, has got the win over Hito Sheen Moses. Look at this. 2-point victory. It was close, but a victory nonetheless. Man, Hito is, you talk about struggling. That guy is on the struggle bus. He needs to pick it up and get some momentum going in his favor, because ever since going against the Blissful Enigmas, I know he was in Discord mad that he was like, I should be higher up than this. I should be higher. But you got to win to be higher up. You got to get victories to be higher up. So I think he's been lately proved wrong by the Blissful Enigmas that he should be higher on the card than these guys, because he hasn't really got a win yet. But you know, Team Japanese, they can turn things around. It's been a while since they've been an actual tag team. Maybe after WrestleMania they'll get things back going again, back on the road to the championship possibly. And speaking of that, we had the debut tag team of Buck and Five and Lily Pilly going up against Woodus, who they're up and down as a tag team. They get some good good wins. They get some bad losses. They were doing really good at the beginning of the year. I think they were both 3-0 to start off 2018, or on main shows anyway. And now, house show loss, and now NXT loss. Hopefully these guys can get things going, because I know they both are. They desperately want to be tag team champions. They just gotta click on all cylinders. I don't know if they need to communicate more or at all. I don't know, but I know they both want to be tag team champions, and they are. They keep tagging. Hopefully they keep getting better, and hopefully we'll see them move up the show there, up the card. Broken Nerd got to win over Cade Galley. I don't know. I don't know which one it is. Gale. I know this is Gale and then Y, so maybe it's Gale. Anyway, taking too much time on that. Vitamin Yes got the win over Gourds. We got some bad news on Gourds on Discord a little prior to WrestleMania. We'll get more into that in storyline-wise once we cover WrestleMania. But in storyline-wise for this match, Vitamin Yes was told by the UVC, Bastion in particular, to go out there and beat the pure T trash out of Gourds, and look what he did. Doubled his score. Big job right there from Vitamin Yes, Vitamin No, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, he did his job. He did his job. He won over the UVC there and proved his worth, in their eyes anyway. And then you got Breaker. Got to win over my buddy Alaska Brown. 6-point victory there. Not too bad. Alaska Brown, I wish we were closer together. I moved away from Wilmington, North Carolina is where I was living previously, and I wish we could get together more and talk about wrestling so I can help you out, man. I want to help you out most I can, but just keep plugging away. You're doing good stuff. Keep it going. Speaking of doing good stuff, even though he was facing Fart Bucket here, the Hebrew Hammer remains undefeated with a win over Fart Bucket, which, you know, it was Fart Bucket, so take it for what it's worth. But he did get another win, and the Hebrew Hammer, in fact, is undefeated. One of the few undefeated guys on the show, on the JRPL, that is. So you want to put a bullseye on somebody to end a streak? Hey, maybe we can get. Where we go? Yeah, there we go. Super Hippo. He used to be the streak killer, not so much as of late, but maybe he can take a hit at the Hebrew Hammer streak. We'll see. And then here it is. He's almost got the Fart Bucket path going. Cross, the man who won Jobber of the Year last year, he beat XIVILI at the previous show. I believe it was Fastlane. And then he beats XIVILI's tag team partner, the One True King, Nate Myers, back-to-back. So he has beat both members of Imperium, the tag team that is. And look at this, 21-14, decisive win. Guys, I know everybody talking hashtag Year of Banksy. This could be Cross coming back. He could win the Comeback Kid of the Year if he keeps it going. Now, I know it's way too premature to call that out, but I'm just saying, if he keeps it going, he might be able to do something special there. But nonetheless, he did get a win over one of the solid members on the roster right now. And then we got to talk about this. Cam Popplestone, who was fired from the JRPL, showed back up at NXT TakeOver here and got a win over Shockmaster. And you need to go read the write-up because he had a major moment in the write-up where he came in at the in the main event of War Games, came in, used bolt cutters, cut through the cage, and came down and attacked Bomber, myself, cost the UVC the match. And it's all storyline-wise where Cam Popplestone was fired. He was trying to prove Bomber was trying to prove a point that he's got all the power and trying to almost threaten the solution with just showing his muscle and how much power he had. And Cam Popplestone came back and shoved it in Bomber's face and cost their team the match. And Bomber took the loss in that main event. Moving on here. Don't look now, but Peanut gets a win. 15-12. Pretty low scores out of Crimson Cyborg and Peanut. But nonetheless, Peanut does get the win. Pretty rare day we get to hear that. And then the final match, or the first match, I guess you could say, on the card, the Finn beats Captain Charisma and CJ Blackthorn. These guys were kind of all in limbo as we were waiting to see who won the ladder match for the first ever Road Warrior title at Ring of Honor, since it was the same night. So these guys kind of just got thrown together, and the Finn capitalizes on that. 26-19-18. I'm just saying, the Finn making moves. He's making waves. I'm just saying, watch him, boys. Watch him. All right. Anyways, that was the show. That was the results. The write-up was a decent length. It added more on this show. I try to add in more like behind the scenes. Like we start the show off in the Bomber's locker room where he's like kind of barking orders at Imperium and Team No Chance and like, hey, you guys need to go do this and you guys need to go do that, and kind of showing more behind the scenes stuff. I feel like it fills in the gaps a little more and it makes things a little more interesting. Maybe some people that you wouldn't see in storyline wise, more getting just a little more time in the write up. Just something I'm trying a little bit. Just something I'm trying to do here, and it started pretty much at this show, I think. But that was it. That was the night before WrestleMania, the biggest show of the year. And we'll see. Who knows? It might win awards by the end of the year for Show of the Year. Might not. But either way, let's go over it. It was a humongous card with 15 matches on the main card. In the main event, the Top Lock title got the top billing over the world title, believe it or not. But it's all basically storyline purpose-wise. Woody defeats Bomber, me, in a Hell in a Cell match with everything's on the line. If Bomber won, the Solution would be disbanded, meaning that the tag team titles would have to, like the Solution, as you can see down here, the Solution did win. We'll get into that more in a second, but if Bomber would have won, the tag team titles would have had to been vacated because the Solution would not be able to team up at all. So, you know, I would have been the Top Block champion. I would have had all the power. Solution would have been disbanded. I would have been laughing in their face. But unfortunately, and if you want to go back down to and look at the picks, it came down to the AJ Styles and Nakamura match. And if the match was a little bit better, like in real life on the actual WrestleMania show, I would feel better about this. But the match, in my opinion, wasn't even good. So that's kind of salt in the wounds to me. It was kind of like I've explained before that I felt they were going through the motions. I was so disheartened. I was like, God damn, at least make it a good match if I'm going to lose. If that's going to cost me my match at WrestleMania, and it wasn't even a good match, I was disappointed. But nonetheless, Woody did get the win, 19-6. It was a crazy score. At one point, I think we were like -44. We were way down in there, way down in the score, but we battled back, and we ended up with 19-6 as our final. Woody wins, so here's what happens. Obviously, the Solution stays intact, but for the next 3 months, starting at this date, April what? This was April 8th. So we're talking April, May, June, July 8th. Every show between now and July 8th, Woody is in control of it. He gets to book the matches. He creates the storylines. If you want matches, you need to contact Woody. Just jump on Discord, hit him up on Twitter. This is your guy that's going to book your matches. Everybody was giving me shit lately. Everybody was harping on me. So you know what, Woody, this is your chance to show how much better you are than I am. Best of luck, because you're going to be blown away with the amount of like work and stuff that comes into this. But anyway, so Woody in the storyline, it was a clean victory. Nobody came down. Nothing went, no shenanigans. Nobody broke through the cell. Woody and Bomber didn't break out of the cell. It was all just contained inside that Hell in a Cell match. There were lots of weapons, lots of crazy weapons. There was a weed eater, a weed whacker, whatever you call it. I personally call it a weed eater, but you know, it's you pull the string, and it's. I hope you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, you need to get a life. You need to figure out what the hell a weed whacker is. That was brought into play. There was all kinds of stuff, but in the end, the clean victory goes to Woody. He's still the Top Lock champion. The Solution's still around, and now he runs the JRPL for the next 3 months. Who knows? He had all these grand plans. We'll see if they come to fruition. We'll see where we go from here. But it was a crazy main event, and I think it lived up to the hype. Personally, I know I was in it, so I'm a little biased, but I hope you guys enjoyed the story that went into this whole thing. If you go back and look, This went back from the very start of the JRPL, and I tried to do a bunch of things to fine mold this, and I think it came off well. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you followed the story. And yeah, so moving on here. Banksy did not get the win. The Royal Rumble winner of 2018, or of 2018 Royal Rumble winner. I guess he joined the likes of Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura because they both lost their title shots at WrestleMania, and so did Banksy. Banksy lost by 3 points. If you remember, he lost at the NXT show by 1 point. He lost at the Ring of Honor show by 1 point. If you do the math, he lost 3 matches over the course of that weekend for a total of 5 points. 3 losses, 5 points total separated all of those losses. That is extremely bad luck. That is extremely bad luck. And shout out to him. He's been putting on a good year. I hope he continues to keep doing good. It's just maybe he just had a bad weekend. This is unfortunately the worst weekend to have a bad weekend. But John picked up the win. Arguably, maybe some people will say Tino was the greatest world champion. I mean, there's still only been 2 champions, but John is arguably the greatest world champion that we've had so far. It's either him or Tino, obviously, but a big win here. John keeps the title with the Solution. Now, here we go. I'm going to go into the whole Gord storyline thing with this match because now I'll just go down here real quick. Gords took on Cam Popplestone. Giant loss here. 56-25. Gords ended his career in the JRPL with a loss. So, here's the story. Here's what went down if you didn't read the write-up. Basically, Gords told us on Discord that he is going to be leaving the JRPL. He's unfortunately not really into wrestling right now. Who knows? He might come back. Who knows? We'll see. I hope he does. I hope he's enjoyed his time in the JRPL so far. But he says he's out of wrestling right now. It's becoming more of a chore, and he's going to just stop being in the JRPL and wanted to let us know, which is cool, by the way. If you're listening to this and you're thinking about those same things, please let me know, or still let me know. I know Woody is running the show, but let me know because I still update the website, damn it. Let me know if you are going to stop showing up because that way we stop booking you and that we don't run into like just straight no-shows and changing up the card and all that. So first of all, thank you, Gords, for letting us know. Now, you're not just going to leave. We got to have some kind of crazy story. And in the write-up, we did have that crazy story. Basically, in the parking lot, Gords was confronted by a JRPL interviewer. And next thing you know, the Solution SWAT truck shows up, smashes, tries to kill him basically, smashes into a truck, and out comes Bastion and Jut Jut. They beat him up. Gords runs, gets in his rental car, and takes off. And then Bastion and Jut Jut, part of the Ultraviolet Connection, jump in the SWAT truck and take off after Gords. And if you're wondering, like, why do they have the SWAT truck? Long story. Basically, the UVC stole the SWAT truck of the Solution. Anyway, now, later on in the show, we catch up with live news coverage of the rental car being chased down the roads of New Orleans, because that's where the show took place. And everybody was in on thinking the SWAT truck belonged to the police, which is, makes sense. If you see a SWAT truck chasing another car, you think something's going on there. You think they're part of the police, not a fucking wrestling stable. And anyway, they got onto a bridge. Somebody spun Gords out, thinking they were helping the police. Gords got out of his vehicle. He was surrounded by a bunch of police that actually did show up. And then Jut Jut and Bastion took that SWAT truck, plowed it into the car. Gords jumped into the car. They plowed into it and shoved it off the bridge, and it fell into the water below. Now, crazy. That is a crazy storyline. Those are some of the things that we're trying to develop here in the JRPL as we go forward, is crazier storylines. If you have these outlandish ideas, please contact us at Jobber Radio. Let us know. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Discord. Hit me up somewhere. Let me know if you want to do some ideas like that. That's some stuff that we want to go down different avenues, just to spice things up, So, Gords, thank you for taking part in the JRPL. I hope we wrote you off in a great way. I hope you enjoyed your time, but you basically got murdered on the show. You got wrote off. Now, There's going to be a news article that comes out that you're going to have to check out on jobberradio.com. That's going to be about that. There'll be a little more detail. I don't want to spoil anything now, but I'm going to push to that. You need to check out jobberradio.com. We'll have more on that later. But now, I finally have got to the match here. The solution, obviously, Gourds is Warden's little bunny. They are friends. Nobody else gets it. Only the Warden is into Gourds. So, for this match, they come out. They're already mad. He's furious. And then out comes Bastion and Jut Jut in the SWAT truck. The same SWAT truck that killed Gourds. Talk about rubbing salt in the wounds, trying to get into the head, trying to play mind games with Warden and Beer Me Jesus. Warden jumps up and attacks Bastion on top of the SWAT truck. The match, there wasn't much to the match because if you look at the score, it was an actual squash match. So, unfortunately, Jut Jut and Bastion did get a lot of offense in. Warden took a dive off the SWAT truck all the way into the ring, wiping everybody out. And then they hit the final solution. I believe it was on Jut Jut. I think. Yes, because Bastion got thrown through the windshield of the SWAT truck. That's what it was. Hey, I just wrote this thing like yesterday, okay? My brain's a little fried after all that typing. But, they got the win over Jut Jut, and the Solution keep the tag team titles. All 4 Solution members in the main events here all kept their titles. Great job to you. Congrats. Go fuck yourself. Here we go. So, anyway, what happened next was crazy because Bomber comes out and has these 2 arrested because the SWAT truck was in Warden's name. So, Warden and Beer Me Jesus were arrested, all playing into, hey, they're not going to be able to come out and help Woody later. And I didn't touch on it for the world title match, but John was arrested as well after his match because Bomber had him arrested because he's part of the Solution and saying that, hey, they're all in cahoots and they all tried to kill Gourds. Obviously, that wasn't the case, as we all know, but you know what? Bomber's a dirty damn heel, and he's going to do whatever he has to take to make sure the Solution don't interfere in that Hell in a Cell match. And they didn't, obviously. Neither did UVC, though. So, either way, Bomber had these guys arrested to kind of prove a point and just get them out of the equation. And he pretty much did. But, in the end, it didn't matter. All the UVC guys lost. So, at the end of the day, fuck it, right? Either way, it was a fun story to write up. But, moving on, we had the final blow-off match between Spring Tigress, Legit Boss 2K, in a death match. Look at these unfortunate scores. -33 to -48. Spring Tigers gets the win with a -33 score. Crazy. You need to go read this write-up. It got bloody. It got brutal. There was fire. There was flaming canoe sticks. There were flaming tables. There was all kinds of stuff. There was Canadian destroyers, or Tiger destroyers, sorry, through burning tables. It got brutal. It got hot and heavy. The way it had hot and heavy, that didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but it got hot. We'll just say that with the fire. So either way, hey, enough with the Sasha Banks and Ember Moon shipping. Okay, get it out of your mind. So what happened was Spring Tigers destroyed Legit Boss, got the win after being brutalized, attacked, screwed over month after month after month, all the way since November. These two have been going at it together. So big win for Spring Tigers, capping that feud off. I try to put a lot of work into this feud as well. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And it's interesting to see that Spring Tigers, out of all the shit she took, she came back and got the win over over Legit Boss 2K. So congrats on that. We have a new #1 contender, guys. Super Hippo. Okay. Super Hippo won his first match of 2018, and it just so happens to be the #1 contender match for the World Championship. He got the win over the former champion Tino and Victory Green, who has been the most successful out of the 3 as of late, by far. Victory Green, I don't know if you've been keeping track. I keep saying it in all the videos and everything, but Victory Green has been smoking at people. He's been doing very, very good. Unfortunately, he came in last in the triple threat match, but either way, I'm sure he'll keep doing good and he'll work his way back up for another title shot. Super Hippo, the main, I know some people are criticizing, well, why is he in the world title contender match if he hasn't won a match yet this year? That's because he was Superstar of the Year. He's been known to be an amazing talent in the JRPL, and we know he's not going to be down for long, and this proved it. And now, you talk about a match that's must-see, John versus Super Hippo. Are you kidding me? That is going to be a great match, even though Super Hippo has been losing as of the past, 4 months. It doesn't matter. That is still a marquee match that is going to sell some tickets and put some butts in the seats, the digital seats out there. So I'm looking forward to that. That should be a lot of fun. Whenever Woody's going to book it and make it happen, who knows? We'll see. That's in his hands now. But moving on, death match, the end of the Regulators. We know this has been coming. They've had a lot of interactions, a lot of screwing each other over, a lot of attacks, a lot of backstabbing going on. Crimson Cyborg was the only guy that stayed true to himself. He's the one that was backstabbed by Captain Charisma and 3J Platinum. Basically, if you look at it face heel wise, Crimson Cyborg was the only face here. Captain Charisma turned heel. 3J Platinum turned heel because they originally were a face stable. And it's very unfortunate to see this has got to be the lowest score in JRPL history. I'm very sorry this happened. A death match at WrestleMania with 105 points possible. Negative 75 points from Crimson Cyborg. That'll be taken away from his overall score, which he will get back, no doubt about it. But that's just very unfortunate to see, and I'm sorry that happened. But 3J Platinum got the win with a negative 43 score. These death matches on the big cards, you think, hey, this could be really good for me. I'm going to get a lot of points. But when you have a hard card to predict and there's so many shocking things, look at that. Look at these scores. Negative 43, negative 51, negative 75. Guys, the Regulators went out there and tore it up, did everything they could to see who the number one, the top Regulator was, and it happened to be 3J Platinum. No matter what, you can't deny it. He was the one that walked away with the victory at the end of WrestleMania. Now, the Blissful Enigmas, 3 of the 4 members, Redhead 12, Jonathan C.T. Martin, and Junction, picked up the victory over Kami Cat and both members of the Japanese, Bionic Knee and Hiroshin Moses. Guys, 141 to 139. Very tight score here with 6 people in the match, and it's that tight. That shows that all these guys, they had a lot of the same picks on their mind, and it turned out to be a really good match that came close to winning match of the night, but didn't quite get up there. And that's coming up here in just a second, by the way. But the feud so far has been these guys, the Blissful Enigmas, are the damn dirty heels. They've been destroying Kami Cat as of late, since a Royal Rumble, since January, where they screwed her over, they beat her up, but we've had the face tag team Japanese come out to ally themselves with Kami Cat and try to help her out against these damn dirty heels, and it just unfortunately did not work out. Kami Cat, you thought she was going to get revenge. She got her chair back, the chair she loves dearly, because Blissful Enigma stole it. They lost it back to Kami, and then they stole it again. And then Kami, just when you thought she got her chair back, it all fell apart, and the Blissful Enigmas picked up the victory over Kami Cat and Japanese. Is this the end of the story? That is the question a lot of people are asking, and I don't know. I've been talking to Woody about, are we going to continue something? Is something going to branch off from this? I'm not sure. I guess you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. We will see in due time, people. But either way, if it was the end, I think it was a very good, strong finish to the feud between Kami and Redhead / the rest of Blissful Enigmas, as well as Jonathan and Junction and Bionic Knee and Hito. So we had a #1 contender match for the Top Block Championship. The winner of this will face the winner of, as you can see, Woody here. At some point, again, don't know, whenever Woody books it, but Adonix from Blissful Enigmas took on Tom, and Adonix, I would have put my money on Adonix. Not because Tom's bad, but Adonix has been on fire. He's been very, very, very strong in the JRPL, and Tom has been strong as of late, but we've seen him falter in the past, and he hasn't always been solid. Adonix has always been solid, and both guys were very solid here. 63 to 50, fantastic scores. Fantastic. But okay, there we go. I swallowed weird. Kind of almost swallowed my tongue. But anyway, Tom did get the win. 13-point victory. Decisive victory. I will never count Tom out again. What a win there now. He is going to go on to face Woody at some point in the near future. And Tom could be the number 3 top block champion if he plays his cards right and makes his picks right. Because obviously Super Hippo is the first champion. Woody's the second champion. Could Tom be number 3? So moving on, match of the night right here, guys. Iron Man match, only the 3rd in history, I believe, in JRPL. Broken Nerd took on Ash to kind of, their feud has came to a climax here where Broken Nerd has been, destroying mystery. Okay. He's been the mystery attacker, if I can word things correctly. He's been the mystery attacker for months and months now. And Ash was the first victim. Ash decided he's going to get revenge. He's going to take down the mystery attacker, Broken Nerd. And he lost by 1 single point in this match. Now, if you don't know the rules of an Iron Man match, basically just throw confidence points out the window. None of that matters. It all comes down to how many matches you pick correctly. Out of the 14 matches, it's funny that there were 14 matches on the Wrestlemania card to predict. Broken Nerd predicted 7 of them right. Or I guess 14, 14 if you count Undertaker. So technically 13 possible points. Broken Nerd got 7. Ash got 6. But both of these guys, I'd have to go back and look. I saw their scores that they got were very high. These guys both would have put stellar numbers up if it was an actual match with points. So they ended up walking away with match of the night. Big job to both these guys. I'm glad to see kind of a big feud ended up taking match of the night. And I did a pretty good little write-up where you need to go in. And I broke down like every single score of this 7-6 victory. So go check it out. It was a lot of fun. There's a lot of cheating, a lot of Baron Ash, who's Broken Nerd's partner who came out with him. A lot of crazy stuff went down. You have to go back and watch. You have to go back and read that. It is very good. I put a lot of work into that one. So next up, the first title change we're going to talk about here. Ladder match. The Green Machine defeated the defending champion Accelerator 27 via capture. He got 5 picks in a row right. This is what the scores were when the 5th match came in. 52-21. Accelerator 27, not a good night. All through the weekend, Accelerator 27 did not defend his title, but he lost. And unfortunately, he's going to be a champion that did not defend his title. If he does want to get a title defense, he's going to have to win that title back at a future date. So there you go. Green Machine got the big win for the awesome hooded motherfuckers. If you go back and look, they swept the board. Awesome hooded motherfuckers. We got GMSG we're going to talk about in just a second. And Spring Tigers earlier who won a big high-profile match. All of them. What a big night for the awesome hooded motherfuckers. Then the Outsiders picked up another win. They ended up going 3-0 on the weekend, and they beat Imperium, One True King Nate Myers, and XIVILI. I believe this is the first tag team match they ever lost. I believe they were 2-0 or 3-0 as a tag team, and I believe this is the first match that they lost, and it came to the hands of the Outsiders with a 101-73 win. A squash match here for the Outsiders. And go back and read the recap because Scott sent me a little brief little entrance that he wanted, and I told people if you wanted an entrance, like a special entrance, give me a sentence. Give me one sentence to like summarize what went down. I don't want some elaborate 3-page how I come to the ring. And Scott did that. He gave me a quick little sentence. Hey, I want Mounties to come out. I want the national anthem, and that's that. And that simple as that. And that's how they came out. They had a special entrance with Mounties and all this kind of stuff because they are the Outsiders. They are the dirty Canadians. They did get the win. I don't know why I'm calling everybody dirty. I guess heels, heels are always just dirty. But the Outsiders got the big win over Imperium, working their way back up that tag team ladder. We're going to see where they go from here. And then submission match. Our first submission match ended with a 0-0 score. That ended with a 0-0 score. The GMSG beat Tagaby, who, if you're watching this video right now, I don't think you looked up the rules of a submission match, my friend, unless you're just very ballsy, because the rules state your bottom lock, the match you put 1 point on, or as I call the bot lock, you put 1 point on that match that you're least confident in, right? Well, if you get that match wrong, you automatically lose by submission. And both of these guys did get their match wrong because GMSG put it on Roman Reigns, but it happened at the very last match on the show. In the submission match, whoever gets theirs wrong first, that is a submission. So even though GMSG got his wrong, Tagaby's happened first because he put it on the Women's Battle Royal, I believe it was, and Naomi won. So only one person on the entire show predicted that, and it wasn't Tagaby. So right before the show even started, he submitted to the GMSG, getting 0 score. Neither guy got any points, but either way, the win still goes to GMSG based on the rules. So there you have it. You need to read the rules if you're in specialty matches, guys. I mean, who knows? Maybe Tagaby did read the rules and just he got ballsy. I don't know. But judging by what I saw, I don't think he did. So be careful and make sure you read the rules. It's not too crazy. It's just right on just hover over Prediction League, go over to rules and match stipulations, and boom, right there. Click that button right there, guys. It's all in there. Every specialty match. The other title change on the night, JD lost his title to Wookie. He won it the night before, so he's going to go down as a one-day champion. And sometimes it's going to happen with the Road Warrior title because it's defended on every show. So JD held the title for 1 day. He did get one successful title defense out of it, so that's pretty impressive. But he lost to Wookie, one half of Woodus, 41-48. I'm going to say it's a little bit of a shocker. Wookie has been here from the beginning, so I'm happy to see a veteran get the win, get a new title here. But congrats to Wookie capturing his first ever JRPL title here at Wrestlemania, the biggest show of the year, the grandest stage of them all. So congrats to him. So here was the first big test the Hebrew Hammer faced this year at in his career, I should say. It was against a triple threat match against Jay Scott and CM Carlito, both very successful competitors. And the Hebrew Hammer still came out on top, still remains undefeated. I believe he's 5-0-1 now. And he got the win by 4 points over Jay Scott and a couple more points over CM Carlito. So Hebrew Hammer, the man to beat, keep that target on his back. He doesn't have a title, but guess what? He's got to be rising up in those ranks as fast as possible with all of these victories under his belt. And then we had the Peanut Memorial Battle Royal. Basically, this started the main card. There was 15 matches on the main card. That's only going to happen at WrestleMania. Don't think, oh, there's going to be 15 matches now on the main card. No, it's a WrestleMania. It's a one-time thing, helping, because it is WrestleMania. It's something special. But the GMSG defeated 19 other JRPL superstars with the biggest score of the night, 67 points. Now, in the grand scheme of things, the biggest score was 105. That is an insane number to think about by getting one person 105. But GMSG got the highest score, which was 67, on a very hard to predict card. I think, by the way, it was Asuka and Roman Reigns losing. But yeah, so GMSG, if you go back and look, if you want to read this little news article right here, Peanut Memorial Battle Royal prize, yes, because the winner gets a shirt from either WWE Shop or Pro Wrestling Tees of their choice. GMSG won, contacted me, told me the shirt he wanted, gave me his address. I bought it, and today, as I'm recording this, I shipped it out today, and they said it'll be there in 2 days. So guess what? GMSG, your shirt is on the way. It will be there in 2 days as of this recording. So there you go. So if you're watching this later in the week, maybe you already got your shirt. So guys, I hope to do more stuff like that in the future with prizes and stuff, but this is all coming out of my pocket. Everything you see is 100% out of pocket. So I can't be doing this like every damn show. This is the first time it's been done, and I'm sure there'll be more chances to win prizes again, more shirts. There's going to be a Peanut Memorial Battle Royal every year, so those are some shirts right there. All right, now on to the undercard. Look how many matches we had on the undercard. Guys, we set a record for participation here. I believe it was 63, 64, 62, 60. I don't know. It was over 60 people competed on this show. But we did set the record for WrestleMania. Unfortunately, we didn't have any newcomers. I thought we were going to get some newbies. We had like 5 or 6 people post their picks, but they were all wrong. Confidence points were all incorrect. I wanted to see those people debut so badly, but they did not submit their confidence points correctly, and I didn't add them to the show. So you submit your picks wrong, you don't get added to the show. But if you're watching this, you can join easily. All you got to do is read the rules, guys. You can't duplicate confidence points. If I knew how to program the predictions where you can't do it, where like, hey, I put 5 twice and it'll say error. No, you can't do that. I wish I knew how to do that, but I'm not good enough of a programmer, guys. I don't know how to do that. That's the only reason why it's not like that, as a matter of fact. Trust me, I wish I could, but maybe in the future I'll figure out how to do that. But right now, I do not. So you have to do them on your own right now. So anyway, Daddy Kink, my buddies, they were over here watching WrestleMania with me. They got their first win as a tag team over Team No Chance. Buck and 5, Lily Pilly, they'll go to 1-1 as a tag team. I believe Daddy Kink is 1-2. So they're not doing too bad, I guess. And they got a decent win. And I said one person picked Naomi on the entire show for win the Women's Battle Royal. And guess who it was? XO Kev, Mr. Randy Orton right here. So anyway, sorry, I thought I heard my door open, my front door open. I was like, wait, there shouldn't be anybody here. But anyway, the Finn got the win over Baron Ash. Baron Ash he's allies with Broken Nerd. And didn't I tell you Finn was doing pretty good? Guess what? Another win for Finn. Look at that score, 54-39. Big decisive win for the big man from Finland there. The Finn moves on up in the rankings. Peanut beat Matt Zion. Okay, we talk about how Peanut loses a lot. Matt Zion started out very good in the Jobber Radio Prediction League. He earned his way into Money in the Bank. I think he was like 4-1, 5-1, something like that. He has been losing his ass off as of late. Peanut has been doing much better. And this proved it right here as well. 56-47, Matt Zion. Slipping, my man. You slipping. You need to step it up. I know you can do it. You know, we're on the podcast. We talk wrestling more than a lot of other people. You just got to use your brain, son. But anyway, Peanut gets the victory here over Matt Zion. Jobber Radio host versus Jobber Radio host. Peanut gets the win. TB666 defeats Peanut is my bitch 69, who I believe he no-showed his first ever NXT show, and that made me sad. I think he's 4-0 at NXT shows, so I wanted to see if he stayed undefeated, but Peanut is my bitch did no-show, unfortunately, so that is going to bump him. That's why he's a little bit lower down on the card here, but TB666, one of the first early on front runners in the JRPL. Talk about a slide. He's been sliding, but a big win at WrestleMania. Hopefully we'll do something for his career in the JRPL. We'll see how big of a win it was in the eyes of Woody, who's the guy that books him. At least for 3 months anyway. And then my man, Alaska Brown, with look at this, 30-point victory over the Shockmaster. Both of these guys near the bottom of the card, they struggle to win. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to call Shockmaster out right now. Buddy, you contacted me a little while back on Twitter saying, hey, how do I move my way up the card? And I've called you out before, too. I don't even know if you watch these, but I hope you do. So I want you to move up on the card. That is no doubt about it. But a 16 points at WrestleMania with 105 points possible. Let's go down here to Fart Bucket. 19. You would have lost to Fart Bucket. I don't mean to be singling you out and making fun of you, but man, you gotta change. I don't know what you gotta do. If you gotta just pull up somebody's predictions on some other website, just CBS or one of these ESPN, something, and just follow directly down their picks. Do something to change it up. My man, you gotta do something. Shockmaster, I want to see you win, but damn, son, you're losing left and right. Sorry. Okay, well, there you go. Just wanted to call you out there. Hopefully that encourages you to do better. I don't want it to discourage you. That's the last thing I want to do. I want to see you do better. And the last thing I want to do is see you just give up, because I know a lot of losses in a row, like you have had, can be discouraging. And don't give up. Like a lot of other people, Cross, who gets another win that we'll talk about, did not give up. And look how well he's been doing. So moving on here. And of course, Alaska Brown, who gets a lot of losses, hasn't given up either. He put up a good score of 46. So it is there. I know you can do it. I hope you do it here in the future. Stick with it. You can do it. All right. Rab 63-33. What a squash. Did I include Rab in squash of the night? I did not. Maybe he's already unlocked it. Or maybe he hasn't. Maybe I just missed him. I may have to add him in there. I'll have to go check that. Rab, 30-point victory over Otis. Otis had a bad night, but his tag team partner moved on up here. Wookie did not. So, hey, Woodis, they had a half and half night, but they got a title in their little belt collection finally. So hopefully, I saw him on Twitter talking about, hey, you know what? Hey, congrats. I'm going to help you keep that title. That's what Otis was saying. Now we need to focus on the tag team titles, which is hilarious, seeing how Wookie just won the tag team title, or the Road Warrior title. But Wookie was like, yeah, man, let's go. Let's win those titles. So hope to see a lot more of Woodis in the future, and hope they put some wins together. But Rab got a giant win here tonight at WrestleMania, so good kudos to him. As I already talked about earlier, Cam Popplestone, big win. You know what? Did I put him? Yeah, I did. Okay, Cam Popplestone did get the squash achievement there. But Cam Popplestone, I don't know how back he is. I don't want to say, hey, Cam Popplestone's back in the JRPL. I haven't talked to him yet. Cam Popplestone, if you're watching this video and you've watched for this long, let me know your status in the JRPL. I know you had some personal stuff going on, which is cool. If you are back, let me know, and well, I guess I'm not booking anymore because fucking Woody, but let somebody know, and we'll get some storylines going for you, hopefully. But congrats on the win here nonetheless. Cam Popplestone, giant win here against Gourds. Unfortunately, Gourds goes out on a loss. A losing streak, as a matter of fact. He's got a lot of losses in a row recently, but it is what it is. I hope he enjoyed going out on a high note as far as storyline-wise, at least. And CJ Blackthorne took another loss. He's yet to get his first win in the JRPL. I know he's a loyal watcher, follower, and everything. You need to, I don't know. It's another one of those, change something up maybe. Try to maybe talk to some other people and be like, hey, you want to form a tag team? You want to talk some, or just maybe, hey, you want to talk some picks? Maybe get into somebody and just talk stuff out. Just try to change something up. Try to get your first win there. And Vitamin Yes, Vitamin No, whatever you want to call them, got another win, and a win for Team No Chance. I think he's the only one of Team No Chance because, yeah, Buck N5 and Lily Pilly lost, and, yeah, JD lost. So Vitamin Yes is the only win for Team No Chance. They didn't get shut out at WrestleMania, so there you go. And Breaker got the win over Cade Gailey. Breaker got the win 51-44, that is. Over him, Breaker he's been stuck at the bottom of the card. As soon as he moves up, he takes a loss, and then he takes another loss, and then he moves back up, and then he takes another loss, and then moves back up. So I want to see Breaker really, pun, I guess, is going to be intended here. I want Breaker to break out and actually move his way up the card and stay up the card. That would be awesome. And the match, I know Broken Nerd versus Ash was match of the night, but I think this was the match of the night in everybody's hearts. Cross versus Fart Bucket. Everybody wanted to see it. They are the two proverbial jobbers in the JRPL, which not so much Cross as of late, but Fart Bucket definitely is. And if you would have looked at his picks, yes, the fact that he got 19 is crazy. The fact that he got more than Shockmaster is crazy. But Fart Bucket top locked Doink the Clown to win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and then he put 13 points on that, and then he put 12 points on Dink the Clown, winning the women's the women's Battle Royal for WrestleMania. So, yeah, I can't stop him from doing that. He can do whatever he wants. I don't know if you want to say, hey, Fart Bucket's just that free win on the show, whatever you want to call it. Yes, Cross did get the free win there for the most part, but a win is a win nonetheless. and Cross continues to pile on the wins, and I believe that's his third or fourth win in a row in the JRPL, which is nuts to think about after the struggle bus he was on in 2017. So either way, I picked a new format for this show because I'm going to give you a little pro tip here. This isn't a pro tip. That's wrong wording. I'm going to give you a little insider info. This write-up that I did for this show ended up being 9,400 words. That is dumb. It was 15 pages. Guys, I have never wrote anything 15 pages in my life. Like, no school papers, none of the... I've never wrote 15 pages in a Word document in my life. I would get mad at school when I had to do a 4-page paper. I'd double-space that shit. I'd change the margins to be as small as possible with that I could get away with. I wrote 15 pages for this show. I was burnt out halfway through the writing. I'm not going to lie. I was burnt out creative-wise. Because if you think about it, I did the Ring of Honor write-up and the NXT write-up. The Ring of Honor was a little bit shorter. The NXT was pretty good size. I did both of those and the Wrestlemania. I'm just tooting my own horn a little bit here and showing you how much I care about you guys. Also, that's kind of the part of it, which, you know, we're going to get sappy there for a second. But all 3 of those shows I wrote within that week after WrestleMania, and I made sure I said, I'm going to have this done by the Sunday, like exactly 1 week from when WrestleMania happened, which... When you think about it, oh, I wish the results would have been out quicker, which is what some people said. Basically, fuck all y'all who said that. But I busted my butt. I hope you guys did enjoy the write-up. This is a new format that I came up with. Like, hey, let's Imperium Outsiders. Let's do the write-up for that match. And... yeah, just click it. It opens up. It shows you. Now, obviously, all the shows aren't going to have a little graphic like this. This is a WrestleMania, like a special thing. They're not going to have that graphic. I originally didn't have that graphic in there. And I was like, well, why don't I just put that in there? That'd be pretty cool. And I did. So I included that in here. Don't be thinking you're going to get graphics like this on every show. Just don't have the time, guys. Don't have the time. I do this on top of everything else, full-time job. I wish I could. I wish I could spend a look at this write-up. Look at that write-up for the Legit Boss and Spring Tigers match. And then I think the most was, yeah, this was 4 pages long, I believe, in Word, maybe less. I don't, or 3. I don't know, whatever it was. Yeah, a lot of stuff to read. And if you want to see all the, like, intricate little fun things that go on in the JRPL besides just looking at the results, come in, take a look. Just a match that you wouldn't think about, like, oh, well, I haven't really been catching up on Broken Nerd and Ash. Let's just see what happened in that match. And then read that. It was a fun write-up. Like I said, I go through the whole match, talk about the points and who's leading and who's losing the points and all that. So you need to go check these out. Here's the high-speed pursuit. That's just what I call it. That's where basically gourds get shoved off the bridge. Yeah. So that's just plugging the write-up in the new format that I came up with. I see a lot of people enjoyed this format the best. So I think we're going to do that going forward. It is a little more work as far as formatting because I got to like program things and stuff like that. But I do think in the end it's definitely worth it as far as organization because when you have the full page of nothing but text, I never liked that to begin with. So. The last thing I'll mention for this show, look at all these achievements. A lot of achievements were handed out. I'm going to go back and look and see if Rab, I don't think Rab had a squash match before. I'm going to go probably add him to the squash match achievement. But a lot of achievements were handed out, guys. A lot of people got some big wins here. And that was JRPL's first ever WrestleMania. I wish it happened at a better actual WrestleMania. Some people did like it. I won't say anything else about that, but I thought it wasn't that great, and I wished it was a little bit better one. Maybe next year's will be better, but nonetheless, it was our first one. I hope everybody who's watching this and that took part is all the way back. Will come all the way back for the next year's WrestleMania. I hope to see you guys take part in a full year of JRPL. We're going to have a lot of curveballs and stuff. And hey, who knows what the fuck Woody's going to do, okay? Obviously, it's not going to be as good as what I've been booking, but we'll see what he can come up with. So when you get mad at what's going on the next 3 months, don't look at me. I am not having any part of it. He even came to me and was like, so what match you want? I'm like, dude, hey, I trust you, man. Hey, go for it. You won fair and square. Book me a match. Do it. And he booked me a match. I said, sounds good. Like, I'm not going to be like, okay, no, I don't like that match. If that's what Woody wants, he's the GM now for 3 months. He can book whatever the hell he wants. The only thing I told him, no vacating titles, because I'm a very picky title history person. No vacating titles, none of that crap. That's the only rule I gave him, was you can't just strip somebody of a title. But that's a big no-no in my world, because I'm a little anal when it comes to title stuff. So yeah, everything else is fair game. So if something's happening, you're like, oh my god, Wookiee's booking that. Or oh my god, who's booking that? It's Wookie. Did I say Wookie? Woody. Sorry, Woody. Not Wookie. Woody is going to be booking. Now, there it is. I talked too long. My throat feels weird now. I talked for a long time. I'm going to save this video. I'm going to put it out for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next video. The next 3 months in the JRPL are going to get very interesting. We'll just say that. I honestly can't tell you where we're going to go from here, because I don't know. And to me, since I'm running the thing, that's kind of interesting. I hope you guys are interested too. And if you don't like those next 3 months, don't worry. Don't worry. It'll get better, because I'll be back. I will be back. The bomber will not be denied forever, people. So enjoy these 3 months if you do enjoy them, because don't worry, my ass is coming back. And so is the UVC. We lost, but don't worry, we're not out. We are not out. So that's it. That's how I'm ending this. Little trash talk for you mofos. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys on the next one. And don't forget to show up to JRPL Redemption and the Greatest Royal Rumble. Check Jobber Radio on Twitter @Jobber Radio for details on the 50 competitors